Hello everyone. So in this video lecture, I will explain you the concept of functions in C programming. So friends, a function is a concept which exists in almost every programming language. Okay. So what? First of all, why we write program? Because we want to get our task complete. Okay, we want to perform something in programming language. So even program itself, it needs some kind of a service that it should call one entity, and that particular entity, it complete the whole task. Okay, so that particular entity, what program needs to do is just call that particular service. Okay, and your task is got done, like that. For example, whenever we go in, for example, any hotel, and we just need to call for that, we need this order. Okay, I want to eat this, so you just need to look out in menu and you just order it. So after that, whatever the output, what is returning, it just come to your table. Okay, so it is kind of a service, or I can say it is functionality. Okay, so there is one concept of functions in C programming. So first of all, what is function? Look, whenever there is a point of a computer program, even computer program find itself in a similar situation. It cannot handle all the task by itself. Okay, uh, why we use this computer? Because we want some task to be done by this computer. Okay, so that our task, it should be done easily. Now this program itself, it require kind of a situation, or a kind of a help. So even program, it just call that particular function, and the particular task gets done. Okay, so in it requires the other program, like entities called function in C, to get its task done. Okay, so function is a self-contained block of statement that perform a coherent task of some kind. Now let's just look at the simple C functions that operate in much the same way as mechanic. Okay, so now let's understand the concept of function using one program. Okay, so over here you can see this is main method of C program. Okay, void main method, but I have just ignored some keywords which are not necessary. So, and even variable declaration, that part I have just skipped, because our main focus is on function. So now over here you can see, in this main method, there is one statement like a message, parenthesis, and semicolon. So basically this is function call. Okay, this is function call. Now how do we recognize that this is function call? Okay, now there are only three types of instruction that is possible in C programming language, but it is not an instruction, it is a function calling statement. Okay, so you need to find out that whether it is an instruction or it is a statement. Okay, so this is a statement, and the statement represent function calling. Now over here, this is name of particular function. Over here, message. Okay, and this braces is part of a function definition. Okay, every function a function name followed by parenthesis, and after that put semicolon. So if there exists semicolon, that means it function calling. So over here we are just calling that function. Okay, but if if I am calling someone, for example, if I say, hey John, come here. Okay, so if that particular person is actually exist, then only I can call him. Okay, so same goes to this function. If I am calling some function, that means this function is exist somewhere. Okay, this is just a function calling. So now let's see how this function definition, function is function defining. Now once this function is called, there is one message, printf cry and you stop monotony. Okay, so this main method is completed, but where is that particular method? So now here you go, this is function definition. Okay, this is called function. Over here you have called your particular method and here it is. Okay, so in this message what I have written, smile, the word smile with you. Okay, so this is method, this is particular function, and over here you can see this message parenthesis and called function. Okay, now inside this block there is statement to be executed. Now it is just example, that's why I have printed just a simple printf statement, but actually what is your requirement, you can write your statement. For example, if I want to calculate area of triangle, okay, and I just called a function calculate, then within calculate function it should be a mathematical expression to calculate area of triangle. Okay, and it just written value of area like that. Now what is output of this program? Okay, so it should be, it is like this. Okay, so over here what is control structure? So as you know, execution of C program start with main. Okay, so main method. Now inside this main we call first this message method. So what happened, control jump to this statement to this called function. Okay, so where is this message is defined, it just look for it's just searching for this message, and over here it is defined. So within this block whatever is written, it should be executed, it should be get completed. Okay, so over here it is this statement, that's why over here you can see in output this statement is first written and after that this printf. Okay, now you have grasped the concept of calling function, you are prepared for a call to then other call from other functions or consider. Now you just need to understand this example. Okay, now just see this concept, main printf. Inside this main method what is written, printf statement. Now you can recognize it is whether it is a function definition or a function call. Now it is function call. Why? Because function name followed by parenthesis and after that semicolon, there is no any braces. Okay, so after that there is another statement. Okay, so this is main method. Now where is this Italy is defined? So now let's define this Italy method. Okay, now inside this method there is one statement printf, I am in Italy, and from other function we are calling other function. Okay, so we have called this Italy method from main method. Now inside this main method, inside this Italy method, we are calling another method, that is Brazil, and printf this Italy method is completed in Italy function is completed. Now in object oriented from object oriented concept of view, we can also see function as a method. Okay, but in C it is not object oriented, that's why it's this concept is known as a function. But in C++ or Java, which are object oriented language, function is also known as method. Now where is Brazil? So you have to define Brazil also. Okay, so now inside this Brazil you have statement I am in Brazil and you can see it is calling another function, that is Argentina. Okay, so now you have to define Argentina also. So you just need to define Argentina. Okay, and you need to complete the braces. So whenever you start defining any function, there should be function name, parenthesis, opening curly braces, and your statements and closing braces. Okay, so now what is output? So you can see this output. Okay, now let's understand how is this. Okay, so first of all, main method, from where C programs starts its execution. So over here this is our first printf statement, so it is just execute I am in main. So over here you get this statement. Now after that, it is calling Italy method, Italy function. Okay, so it is looking for Italy. Okay, over here it is function is defined. Now inside this Italy, what is printf? I am in Italy. You got your second statement. Now it is calling Brazil. Okay, so again it will search for Brazil, and inside this Brazil there is another statement that I am in Brazil. So you got this statement, and again it is calling Argentina functions. Okay, function. So over here this is our function, and I am in Argentina. That is last statement. Now this is your statement inside this Argentina. Okay, so whenever this function is executed, this control goes back to that particular from the point where function call has been made. Okay, so where call for Argentina made? Over here. Okay, now this is what Brazil function. So at which place Brazil call was made? So over here. Okay, so now control goes back to this place after executing of Brazil statement. Okay, and your compiler your program is executed till up to Brazil. Okay, so now after this function call, what is the statement? I am back in Italy. So you can see over here this message is I am back in Italy. Now control is still in Italy function, not in main method. Okay, so again it will switch to main method, and this is function call. Okay, so we have called this function successfully, and after that, what is this last statement? I am finally back in main method. So till now we haven't yet completed the full structure of a function, but we just cleared what is control structure whenever you call particular function from main function or function or a function calling from other function except main. Okay, so this is the structure. Now basically there are two types of function. The first one is library function. Okay, the first one is library function. Now these functions group together and stored what is called library. For example, printf. Now you are very well aware that if you want to print something, you used to you used to call printf function. Okay, but again that is the question. If we are calling printf, this function should be defined somewhere. Okay, so it is defined in library function. Okay, and you very well know that you are including std, io.h and other type of, for example, conio.h. These are the libraries that you are including in your program. Okay, so that you can use this kind of function. And other one is user defined function. Okay, the functions defined to perform specific task and stored in program, for example message. So this function that is user defined, okay, it is requirement as per the user. So this is user defined function, and other are library functions. In library functions you don't need to worry about function of it. You just need to call that particular function. Okay, whereas in user defined function you have to define it, you have to structure it, you can modify it also, okay, as per your requirement. Whereas in library function you cannot modify it because it's not on your own property. Okay, whereas in user defined it's your property, you can modify it as per your requirement. Now why we use function? So writing function avoid rewriting the same code over and over. For example, I want to calculate area of triangle, okay, and many times. So what happened, there are I am just taking input from user. Okay, so what is base length, what is length of my I can say what is height of triangle. Okay, so first time user has input the value. I want to print out area of that particular triangle. So what will I do? I will just call that particular function that is defined once at all. Okay, so I will just call that function, my calculation is performed, and I will just print it out. Now user want to again find a calculation of triangle with some other value. So what will I do? I will just pass that particular values to the triangle function, calculate triangle, calculate area of triangle function, and I will just call that particular function, and again my task is done. So like this you can avoid rewriting. Using function, it becomes easier to write program and keep track of what they are doing. Now just assume that in previous slide what we have referred is just written in single statement. Okay, so it was very easy, that's why you can say yeah, it's easy. But whenever you are writing some program with given statement with some aim, okay, so it will at least take minimum 500 to 600 lines of code, and at that time it is very very difficult to understand the code. So if you write it in function modules, then it will be very easier to understand and write the program. Separate the code into module functions also make the program easier to design and understand. For example, you are calculating area of triangle, area of square, area of rectangle, area of hexagon, like that. Okay, so you just need to define this function and just call that particular function. Okay, if you write all the code in just main method, then it will be very complicated. So that's why one needs to implement functions. Okay, so I hope you understand the basic concept of a function, and keep update yourself by watching next videos related to function. Okay, so it is just introductory type. I will explain other parts of function, for example what is argument, what is return type, okay, and what is how can we send values to that particular function, like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye bye.